You love social media, right? You love TikTok, you love Instagram, you love Twitter, all this kind of short form content. You like it, right? And I'm not really gonna judge you over it because it is not bad. Everyone loves social media. Social media is not bad. You wouldn't have found this video if social media didn't exist. You wouldn't have known that I existed if social media didn't exist, and you wouldn't have known so many things, right? But then, at what cost do you have this embrace of social media? What do you lose? Social media really has so many effects, but we just don't realize it because it comes disguised as this kind of entertainment, this kind of fun, all these kind of things that are meant to focus our minds solely on the main subject, okay, and are not meant to actually let us think of the effects of it. Social media, especially among youth, is ruining your concentration span, is ruining how you view life, because there is this mindset on social media where they're like, if you don't succeed while you're young, you're failing life. That is another form of agenda, another form of analogy that social media just pushes to people and encodes their brain and rewires their brain in a different way that they're supposed to think. It gives them society pressure of the fake lifestyles because social media is just a bunch of fake people living fake lifestyles that are meant to trick other people into believing that they're failed in life because they're not living that life, you know. Another effect, especially to young people, is that social media is causing you to be depressed, is making you lose your social skills, because so many people now cannot have a conversation with someone because their minds are so lowered into social media that they just don't have conversations at all, you know. They just cannot have a one-on-one conversation with me and that person having a conversation. This doesn't work because they're not used to it. They're everyday phone scrolling, TikTok, Instagram, all this evil disguised as entertainment. You know, these social media algorithms are not meant to actually bring what you like. You know, they're based off human psychology. They're built off human psychology. They know what you like, what you don't like, and they will bring to you what you want to see or what will keep you engaged. You know, sometimes you don't even have to want it, but as long as they know that it will keep you engaged. For example, false propaganda that will bring to you something that will trigger you to engage with the video, that will trigger you to comment. You know, they are not really meant for you. They're just meant to just lure you, to keep you addicted, okay? To keep you addicted, to kill your ambitiousness, to kill your hunger, and to keep you away from being bored. And I always say this: if you're not bored, if you don't learn to be bored, you're not going to achieve your goals in life, because every single goal requires repetitive, boring action every single day when there are no results, consistency over and over again. Okay? That is the only way you will achieve your goals, by being bored, by learning to be bored. Because when you're not used to boredom, you will start something, go about it for a few days. When there are no results and when you're bored, you stop, because you're not used to boredom. And that is exactly what social media does to your brain. The short form content, it brings you clips, 10-15 seconds. You scroll, and this and that, you know, just continuous entertainment. That's why you realize, specifically in the midnight, when you're trying to have a night, it always keeps you in that one more scroll loop. You just want to keep on scrolling and scrolling. You don't want to stop. They keep on, your feed just keeps on more and more addicting, you know. And they don't care about that. TikTok, Instagram, they don't care if you have school tomorrow. They don't care if you have work tomorrow. As long as you keep engaging with their app and keep making the money, that is all they care about. Okay, they don't care about your life. Okay, they just want to keep you as engaged as long as possible. Keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Okay, but then it is you to have that into control, because they're controlling you, and your life belongs to you. If you don't know how to control your social media addiction, you're going to ruin your life. they're going to become a very inconsistent person. Okay, that is why you need to learn to be consistent with whatever you do. You know, if you want to learn how to control this social media addiction, find ways. If you can stop it manually, limit your screen time. You know, put screen time alarms, put this and that, or just find ways, improvise, and find ways to stop your social media addiction. Because right now you're not going to see the effects, but after a few years you will start to realize that the social media has completely worn you off and has drained the life out of you. Okay, so work on yourself. So, and by the way, I happen to have an online store where I sell shirts and merch and other stuff. So if you want to support us, I mean, you don't really have to buy one, but if you just want to support, you can buy yourself. Link in the description. Thank you.